Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to walk through a framework that I've seen get incredible results for my clients, helping them take these massive, kind of scary dreams and turn them into something they can actually achieve. It is such a powerful tool, and I'm really excited to share it with you so you can use it for yourself. So let's dive right in. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had a dream that was so big it felt, well, paralyzing? Maybe it's launching that business, or writing a book, or some huge personal goal that just seems so far away you can't even figure out what the very first step should be. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed? Yeah, we've all been there. But it absolutely does not have to be a roadblock. You see, here's the thing. A goal without a plan, well, it's really just a wish, right? And to turn that amazing vision you have in your head into an actual, tangible reality, we've got to move from wishing to planning. I want you to think about it like a big cross-country road trip. You wouldn't just hop in the car and start driving hoping you end up in the right place, would you? No way! You'd get lost for sure. The exact same thing applies to our biggest ambitions. Every single great journey, whether it's in your personal life or your career, starts with a clear, detailed map. And that's precisely what we're going to build together today. We're going to go step by step through this powerful framework called the Roadmap. It's basically a guide that just elegantly takes all the guesswork out of hitting your goals. Now, Roadmap isn't just a clever name. It's an acronym that breaks everything down for us. It stands for Results, Options, Assess, Decide, and the grand finale, your Master Action Plan. This is the whole shebang right here. So let's break down what each of these really means. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with the first two letters, R and O. This is really the foundation for your entire plan. It's where you get super clear on your destination and then take a good look at all the possible ways you could get there. So R stands for results. It makes sense, right? Before you can even think about mapping out a journey, you have to know exactly where you're going. But this isn't just about what you want. It's also about being honest about your starting point and, this is crucial, understanding why you want it so badly. So you're going to ask yourself three key questions. First, what is the specific result I really want? You have to get crystal clear here. Don't just say, I want to start a business. Say, I want to launch an online shop selling my handmade candles and make $1,000 in the first month. See the difference? Second, what's my current reality? Be brutally honest. And third, and maybe most important, what are my reasons? Your why is the fuel that's going to keep you going when the road gets bumpy. Okay, once you've nailed down your destination, O asks you to brainstorm your options. This is the fun part, the creative part. You just open your mind and think about all the different roads you could possibly take to get to that result you want. Now, exploring your options has two sides to it. First, you just list every potential strategy. No idea is too crazy right now. So for that candle business, your options could be selling on Etsy, or maybe building your own website, or even starting at local farmers markets. But, and this is important, you also want to identify the potential obstacles. The speed bumps you might run into, like supply chain problems or a tiny marketing budget. Getting all of that out on the table now just prepares you for what's ahead. All right, you've figured out your destination, you've explored all the potential routes. Now it's time to actually choose your path and get this thing started. This brings us right to the A and the D of our roadmap. A is for assess. You've got this list of possible paths. But let's be real, they're not all created equal. This step is all about thoughtfully looking at each option and weighing it against what really matters to you. Your time, your money, your values. A super simple but incredibly effective way to do this is to just make a pluses and minuses list. For each option you're seriously thinking about, like, say, selling on Etsy versus building your own website, what are the pros? What are the cons? Just seeing it laid out like this can bring so much clarity, so fast. So after you've assessed everything, you have to do the most important thing of all. You have to decide. Look, a decision is just a neat idea floating in your head until you actually commit to taking action on it. This is the moment you shift from thinking about it to actually doing it. Making that decision real involves two little parts. First, you just formally choose your path. You say, okay, based on my assessment, I am going to start with an Etsy shop. Boom. Decision made. Then, right away, you identify the absolute first, smallest step you can possibly take to put that into motion. Something like, okay, I'm going to go register my shop name. You've picked your route, you're ready to go. Now it's time for the final and, honestly, the most powerful piece of this whole framework, the map. your master action plan. This is where you actually chart the course, not just for the whole trip, but day by day.
See, a massive goal feels impossible, so we have to chunk it down into something we can actually handle. Ask yourself, what's the big milestone I want to hit in 90 days? Okay, to get there, what do I have to get done in the next 30 days? And to do that, what's my main focus for this week? And to start that, what is the one single thing I'm going to do today? Just like that, the impossible starts to feel pretty darn achievable.
Building this plan really just involves 4 key steps. First, just do a brain dump of every single little task you can think of. Then start organizing them into logical groups like product sourcing or marketing. Third, prioritize them, what actually has to happen first. And finally, you strategize. You put them on a calendar and decide exactly how and when it's all going to get done. The real power of this whole approach is just how universal it is. This is not just some business tool. I mean, you can apply this exact structure to any area of your life where you want to make real, meaningful progress. From your career to your health to your relationships, it's basically a blueprint for living life on purpose. So, there you have it, your complete roadmap, taking you from that big dream all the way to your destination. The only thing left to ask now is, with your journey all mapped out, what is your first step?